Everybody, we're at the world premiere of IMU, produced by Sonia Nassery. Now here comes a mouthful. You went and filmed in a place where there's a war. Your film is against the enemy. No one shot there in 50 years. Your life was threatened. Why was it worth the risk?
Why not? What is more important than fighting for humanity, fighting for people that have no voice, fighting for a subject that is the hottest subject of our time, refugees, and nobody gives a damn. And we're treating them like dogs.
They throw blood on them, you said.
That's right. And could be you and could be me. What's the difference? It could happen to us.
It's an accident of birth. We're just lucky we're not there. Now you said there's a 100% chance of death and a 5% chance of survival.
Exactly. Because if you really pay attention to the journey of what they go through, it is, nobody has shot it from that point of view. And I am shooting the best of the best situation. I'm not shooting like refugees picking up their pots and pans in villages. I'm shooting from intellectuals' point of view, what happens to them. You can imagine what happens to the rest of them. It is extremely scary what they go through. They get raped, they get molested, they get tortured, they get thrown out of, in Iran, just yesterday, they threw 43 people from a rooftop. They took them up there, said, this is room and board for you, and they pushed them from a rooftop to their death. They locked children in a room with their parents and say, we're gonna come and help you, and they locked it and they couldn't get out and they all died. These stories we don't hear. Have you heard these?
We're worried about the new iPhone in America.
That's right. And in the world.
It's such a tragedy. Now, one of the things you said is about education. That's the whole thing, that we need the exposure and the education of the people, especially in the country.
Education is the answer, because when you know who you are and what your rights are and how you can fight for your rights, this kind of atrocity doesn't happen to you.
No, you're right.
Simple as that.
I don't know about how simple, because you found 3 a.m. in the backseat of your car, you were going through your pocketbook, and you found a human hand.
Yeah.
That's a message and a half.
No kidding.
Yeah. And what about the helicopter flying over and in that language saying, we're going to bomb you?
Continuously. Continuously. Normal.
And so many people bailed, right?
Yeah.
Like on the first day. Sorry, this is not for me, Sonia.
Yeah.
Well, you are a true hero because you put your life on the line, you risked it, you made an amazing thing. What can people at home do to help?
The simple answer to that is we can all do something. We're not helpless. We're all have certain talents, certain capabilities. If you can make a movie, you should talk about it. I think the biggest crime is when crimes are happening and people are silent and not speak about it. Just speaking about it, bringing the word out through whatever medium you can. Tell to your congressman, tell to your senator that this is not the American way. We don't approve of this treatment of refugees. There's so many ways to help.
Is there any hope, considering even in America, they were throwing not on the same level, but kids in cages and separating families?
That was the crime
Getting a little
of the century for me, because one is not allowing. I am for legal immigration, of course. There is a big difference between being a migrant and being a refugee. A migrant leaves their country because they don't like the economy, they don't like the way of life, they don't like the education system. They say they would rather go to America because it's better.
There's a choice.
They make a choice to leave a free country to come to another free country. Refugees is not as such. Refugees don't make that choice. They're kicked out and bombed, and they're running. They're running to a border. And then that border builds a cage and say, you cannot come in.
Right.
The border, that probably the people caused that. But separating these children and sending them to everywhere in America and not knowing where they send their kids.
No track, no records.
It's inhumane. 21st century in the United States of America, this happened. Now you can imagine what's happening outside of here.
That's what you're seeing here in America. You can only imagine the tragedies. This is the person who made it all happen, Sonia Nassery Cole. We're about to see the world premiere of IMU. And real quickly, why is it called IMU?
It's a title because to me, we are one. You pour my heart out, it's the same color as your heart. You cut me, I bleed the same color as you. We are one. There is no difference.
Could be any of us.
Could be any of us.
We are out. IMU, world premiere, Sonia Nassery Cole, director, producer, and superstar.